afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Matters of the Heart. I'm Charlie Valentine. This is my co-host, Jorge Ivy.
Alright.
This forum, we discuss all aspects of relationships. Good, bad, ugly, physical, mental, emotional. It's for the grown and sexy. It is not for the faint of heart. With that being said, welcome to episode 3 of Matters of the Heart.
Today's episode, we're going to discuss how do we learn to love? Is it generational blueprints?
Talk about it.
Let's.
How do we learn to love? Me personally, I learned how to love by watching the adults before me mess up relationships. Not that I didn't mess up some in my lifetime,
Right.
but you learn what you live.
Also, not just relationship, like husband and wife kind of relationships, but siblings. And I learned how to love or not love because I have messed up a few of them myself. I learned how to love by how I was treated as a young adult. As a child. As a matter of fact, I was just having a conversation with somebody today, and I was just saying how my mom and I don't have the best of relationships. And what would happen when I was a child, my mom was in her maybe late 20s. So she grew up very poor, very poor. So when she was in her late 20s, she had a job at the airlines. She could fly free. So this opened up a whole different world for her. She was out there just exploring with her friends. And once being her age at 29, I got it. I understood when I got her at that age. But when I was younger, I would always, always wondering, like, why I was with somebody else. Why I was staying over my friend's house. I was somebody babysitting us. And after a while, you felt, it made me feel like, damn, am I important? And not am I loved, because I always felt that she loved me, but, so anyway, but from that experience, I there's some things that I took that weren't good, and some that were good. Because with my own kids, I feel like now I have to be involved with everything. It made me realize that it was critical for me to be a part of my kids' life as much as I could.
The first 4 years of my life, it was just me and my mother. Probably the best time of my life, of my childhood, man. It was all about me and my mother. Got my world. Her, my Uncle Phil. Then my mother met the dude. All of a sudden I'm noticing my mother's stomach getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Trying to find out she was pregnant. She had just one kid. She had twins. And for the longest time, I hated my siblings because I felt like y'all got a father. I don't have my dad. And y'all come along and take my mother from me now. So I knew she loved me, but I felt ignored. One thing I did learn throughout my childhood that I carried to my adult years were I make sure all my kids feel loved. as a parent, you're not supposed to have a favorite child.
Right.
So they say. But you're human, you can't help it. There's always be one that you vibe with more than others. But I'll never let them know.
Right.
I'll never say, oh, that's my favorite right there.
Right.
My son just feel like this is my daughter. But that's my baby girl. Like, I got a soft spot for her. But when we talk about love in this forum, we're talking about relationship love. And in my family, there weren't a lot of growing up successful relationships.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of long-term, long-lasting relationships. You know.
So wait, let me ask you a question. So from that love hate that hating your siblings because they had a father, how does that carry into the relationships now as an adult with your lady? How does it affect it, if at all?
And don't, like, her father, rest in peace, that was my dude. That was my dude. I have a tendency, for whatever reason, I've been fortunate enough to get along with girlfriends' fathers and parents, period. And it's hard. I'm a father that had two daughters. It's hard when you know a dude sleep with your daughter to want to be cordial to him.
Right.
But, like, how can you explain it? It's gonna happen. It's so you gotta make the most of it.
Right.
You gotta hope that the upbringing the way you brought them up, is gonna make them strong in their spot, and they're not gonna be just some old floozy out there getting up in your neighborhood.
Right.
And if he actually gets to that point, he's special.
So I think what I got out of my situation with my mom was a good and bad. So what I learned was what I took out of that, not necessarily what I learned, but what I guess it is what I learned, what I took from it. So I like to communicate because initially in my marriage, which is why it's no longer in existence. I was always told that I didn't talk, and I think one of the bad things that I took from my early upbringing was I had to start closing off because I don't know who was going to hurt me or who was going to not be there, who was going to leave me feeling empty. So as a result, I really didn't like to talk much about feelings. Right. So my ex-wife told me that that I always kept her at arm's length, and I would always be like, well, I don't understand. But now looking back after years of therapy, I understand what she was saying because I never really opened up to her, never really trusted because of my upbringing. That's the bad part about it. But the good part that I took from it, I guess not really, because only after my therapy that I learned to communicate a lot better and a lot more often. Those intimate kind of communications, you know what I mean? That quiet time when you're together, it's just you and her. So that's what at the end of it all, I've learned that, I guess through the pain and through my trials and my mistakes, I learned how to communicate more effectively. And I learned that I didn't I wasn't communicating.
I remember I was watching a movie called Bronx Tale.
Okay.
And Sonny said to Calogero, you only get 3 great ones in your life. You're a great women. I had 3 great ones. And it fucked it up bad. And it was always same excuse, same reason. I wasn't communicating with them. I wasn't being open with them. I had a horrible attitude. But like you said, I've been hurt so much in my lifetime that my defense mechanism is to hurt you before you hurt me. I've learned to communicate. Now it's more of learning exactly how to communicate.
Right.
How when you're upset, just to shut up, walk away. How to, case in point, me and her got to say we do. Because, in relationships, you can say something, and sometimes it can be misconstrued.
Yes.
Or you can say something, it can be a 10-word sentence. They'll take 3 words out of that, and that's what they're wrong.
Right.
So, what we started doing is something called permission to speak. Both of us are grown, so we want to talk, we don't have to ask to talk. But what permission to speak does is it lets the other party know, look, I'm about to say something. I need you to hear. You may not like what you hear, but I'm coming from the heart. This is how I feel. If it upsets you, now it's time to respond. Because it's not going to come out right. Because you're upset. And that's something that we've learned to do. And when we do that, since we've been doing that, we might have had like 1 or 2 arguments. In the almost 3 years we've been doing that.
She done that too?
Both of them do it.
Okay.
Permission to speak.
Okay.
If the other party say, well, that mean they ready to listen to whatever it is you about to say to them. They ready to listen to it. And if it pisses them off, they just try to bite their tongue until they stop.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'll respond to it when they're ready. You can't make them respond because when you want to hear their response. Because you ain't going to want to hear what they have to say, bro.
Right, yeah.
But when they're ready to respond, then they'll respond.
Okay. So, so just on a slightly different topic. I mean, not the same topic, but just turn the situation around a little bit.
Sidebar, what do you have on?
I think it's Jimmy Choo.
Yeah, it's hitting me. It don't sting. It's like, I like that fragrance.
Oh, okay. I thought you were offended by it. Like,
Nah,
your face was not nothing
it's gonna
good.
make me want to buy a bottle of that. You know?
Oh, okay. I think my daughter Brianna got it. I think.
I'm not surprised. I probably can afford it and re-bought it.
So listen. So you mentioned Martha's dad.
Mm-hmm.
That you were cool with.
Mm-hmm.
So have you noticed the difference in dating women that didn't have their fathers in their life versus having have somebody in your life who had their dad?
I honestly can't remember. All right. What do you call dating?
Just being with somebody. Just
Like
being in a
serious
relationship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember being in a relationship with somebody whose dad wasn't in life.
You.
I've been fortunate that most women I've dealt with, dads were in their life. That's it, I'm wrong. That's just the eavesdropping. Bye-bye, baby. You gotta love it. Anyway, I've never been serious relationships. Not somebody I'm just messing around with, nothing like that. But a serious relationship, no. Let me think, hold up. No, never.
That's awesome.
Never.
Because, okay, so from my experiences, it's a big difference. It's a big difference in dating women that have had their fathers, consistently in their life, and a woman that hasn't had a father at all. And
What's the difference?
so the treatment, and I don't know, maybe this is just the women that I've dated, but the women that have had their father in their life, they cater more to you. They're a lot more, for lack of a better term, more manipulative. They know how to
maneuver the baby.
Yeah, they know how to change your mood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm not even talking about anything sexual. I'm just talking about mentally, where they're at. You know what I mean? They just know how to manipulate the situation. They know how to change the situation. They know how to make you feel different. Versus somebody that might be a little more colder, that might not be as sensitive, that doesn't have that part sharpened because they didn't have a chance to. They didn't manipulate their dad.
I don't think that comes from the father. I think that comes from watching their mom deal with their father.
No, because
I say that because listen, if let's say the father wasn't in the house, he wasn't with the mother anymore, but he's still a part of the child's life. Mm-hmm. So that as we know, she doesn't see her mother cater to her father.
But little girls learn to manipulate their fathers first.
Their father is their first boyfriend.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like if they didn't have their father there, the women that didn't have their father there didn't learn that skill.
So it's a little more.
Yeah, but when their father isn't there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That skill is like, I cook you a meal. You don't like it? Oh well. You know what I mean? As opposed to, no, taste it, baby. Just have a little. You know what I mean? They know how to. It's just a little different. A lot different, actually.
Listen, that. I had two daughters. Rest in peace, Buddha. My oldest is gone. But both my daughters, I was in their life. I mean, my older daughter wasn't catering to nothing with her boyfriend. She was like, nope, I don't care. Like, she had a father attitude. Like, no. So what? The younger one, she's a little more softer, or gentle. So it's going to be interesting how she's going to turn out. See, her mother was a pocket rocket. Her father was a high head. She's kind of laid back at this point in life. I'm kind of worried about her. You know what I mean?
Now, unlike you said earlier that you didn't have your father in your life, so you were kind of angry at your brothers and sisters. I'm not sure if you used the word angry, or I think you did. You did. All right. So I did. But what my dad showed me, this comes back to what the topic was about, is it generational blueprint. So while my dad was in my life, I just seen him with woman after woman after woman. I mean, he He taught me everything that I know.
Yeah, I learned that, right?
Unknowingly, you know what I mean? It was just, I mean, it was wild what I saw him, what I seen him go through with women. It was just wild, and the amount of women that I seen him go through. So, and is this still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to delete some stuff on there. I got stuff right now. I just don't delete.
Should I hit the
I'll
camera?
put it on.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you get not now. Yeah, not now. One more way.
You're gonna edit this, right?
I'm gonna try it.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
I'm glad we're not live.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't even care.
Okay. So, and to be fair, it wasn't just my dad. You know, my mom had a fair share of boyfriends. So, unfortunately, I grew up watching this. And you may think, well, you know right from wrong. But sometimes it's hard to unlearn 2 plus 2 is 1 plus 1. You know what I mean? You learn that from an early age. And once you're in that life with one woman after another, although in your mind you know it's not the right thing, you understand why your parents went through that. It feels good to some extent.
Oh no, it feels good.
Not all the time, because at some point you want something stable. You know what I mean? Like
That's what you. Like even if you learn, even if you saw your father run with these women, your mom run with those dudes, at the while you're like, I'm tired. Like me, I was a whore. I was bad.
I was never that.
I was bad. I'm sorry. I can't even deny. I was bad. My sons were bad. They got it honest. All of them. They, at one point or another, were off the meat rack with women. I got to a point where I got tired. I wanted to, I've always wanted to get married, but I knew, I think I was scared because, like I said, I happened in my family, there were no successful relationships. My grandparents, I met them, I was 19 when I met my grandparents on my father's side. They ended up being married for 60 years, but I didn't know them growing up.
You said 60?
60 years. My grandmother passed. They were at 60 and counting when my grandmother passed.
60?
Yeah, they were married for 60 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When she passed away in 95. I'm sorry, not 95, 2000.
Wow. It's a long time.
Yeah. That's the shining example I hold on to. Now at 49, getting married, very strong possibility that I'm not gonna have 60 years with her, but you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like at some point you get tired, and then when you meet that one, it's like, the hell I want to cheat for? I got all I need right here.
Right.
It's when you meet that one, and you fear of losing them makes you straighten up too. Because when I first met her, I wasn't cheating, but I was the street dude. I was all out in the streets, heavy. To the point that she was ready to leave me. You know what I mean? She told me recently, she was like, yo, I was about to bounce. I was making plans to leave. She like, but unfortunately you ended up in the hospital. In a coma. And that made me change my mind. Then when you came out, you had a different outlook, and you had started changing, and then that's when it was that.
Do Do you see the change?
In movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not a finished product. I'm still changing.
Well, we're all, hopefully nobody's a finished product.
No, I mean like, I ripped and ran the streets for decades. You can't just change it like that.
Right.
Like the past 2 years I've been in the hospital, so that you can't hurt each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that I'm home, do I get the urge to go to the hood? Sometimes. But there's like, Nick, please. Like, I'm going to do that for.
Right.
I'm up in the suburbs chilling, but I'm going to the, nah, I'm good.
Okay.
We was in the hood yesterday. And they had some dude hemmed up by like 6 wild cards. I said, I don't miss this.
Nah.
We went on South Orange Avenue, see dudes out there tripping, dudes out there fainting, Jones off of something, falling pants down at his knees. I'm like, bruh, no drawers, no ass all out. I'm like, bruh, come on, bruh. But all I can say to us, ain't no place like home.
Yeah.
Do I miss the hood? Oh, I do. I'm probably gonna always miss the hood. That ain't me no more.
Okay.
Well, we get on topic now. Let's get back to relationships and the dynamic and generation curses and all that good stuff. Most people who grew up in 2-parent households with their parents grinded and built a life for their kids, they tend to grow up and be parts of 2-parent households and grind and build a life for their kids.
Right.
And it goes on and on and on. When you come from a 1-parent household or a 2-parent household and 2 parents there, but it's basically 1 parent there, then that's kind of what you learn as a kid. A girl who grew up, whose father beat the hell out of her mother, tend to deal with men that beat the hell out of them.
Not in every instance.
I said tend to.
Okay.
I ain't said they all do. Girls who grow up watching their mom go to work and and dad stay home doing nothing tend to grow up and get good jobs and be the breadwinners and deal with niggas who ain't shit. Men who grew up watching their mother berate and belittle their fathers, then that's the way. And end up doing the same thing. Like, you gotta, when you in a circle, in a cycle, at some point, your great-grandparents lived a certain way, grandparents lived a certain way, parents lived a certain way.
Right.
You have to stop that cycle, or your kids will circle it out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's love, work, anything. If you doing right, then they gonna do right. If you loving right, they gonna love right.
Yeah.
If you being a dickhead, they gonna be dickheads. If you're a whore, if your father was a whore, you're gonna be a whore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what? We're having a conversation here, buddy. Come on, what I thought stop. Ain't nobody noticed I was talking about you until you said something. They wouldn't even going on today. Anyway. But like, that's how it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say this. I learned a lot about relationships and life through my upbringing. A lot of something I had to learn on my own as an adult. But I wouldn't trade none of it in for nothing. Because everything I learned Everything I endured, everything I encountered, made me the man I am today.
Okay.
Everything I went through, everything I've done in my lifetime, prepared me to love her the way she deserves to be loved. Everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. All prepared me. It taught me how to love her.
Okay.
Do I do it right all the time? No. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Do I appreciate her patience and her understanding? Yes. That just makes me love her more. My mother, first on the trouble, gone. I don't care, child, husband, sibling. First on the trouble, my mother like, up, gotta go. She leave. She a runner.
Yeah.
I'm because of her being a runner and having us being unstable as kids. I learned instability. I mean,
Yeah.
and I had to break that. I had to learn to buckle down, lock down, and focus on a goal and complete it.
Okay. So I've done that on the topic.
Me either. Listen, everybody that's watching, our phone number is 908-588-1457. Call and voice note message and we will respond to you.
Yep.
Or email us at, no offense, Tyleek, Tyleek, .mattersoftheheart@gmail.com. Leave us a topic, ask any questions. We will get back to you and respond to you on the show. We will take a topic and use it for a future show.
Comments, suggestions,
All the above.
everything. We'll take it.
About to start the fan club, the Jorge fan club. Hey Jorge, do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. For our audience. Why don't you hit him with a little something, something? So we're not going to be surprised.
Okay.
Hit him with a little something, something. Just something, matters of the heart. It's my man Jorge Hobby. I ain't gonna tell you where the hobby comes from, a whole other episode.
Alright. Okay.
Check it out. He about to release y'all a little something.
Okay. Alright. Today I felt the pain inside my heart. Thought of losing you was on my mind. If I
Damn, couldn't get a verse. On that note,
you can't surprise me like that. I gotta be prepared.
on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's episode 3 of the books.
Yep.
Next week, we gonna turn up next week.
Yeah.
We gonna get real interesting.
Yeah.
Next, we're gonna talk about who was your first orgasm with.
Wow.
Yeah, told y'all. We're gonna talk about all topics of relationships.
Okay. All right. Okay.
See y'all.